John with Riley's Uniques again. I've been asked to do a list on things not to buy for your antique booth. I'm going to share a top 10 list for me that doesn't do well at all, no longer sells. Also, a lot of the dealers around here in my area also do not have luck with these items. Some of these items there will be exceptions if it's a unique item or a weird item in that class. But overall, unless you know what you're doing or you don't see something unique about it or sellable about it, it's best to just stay away from it. So we're going to get started on the list. The first thing, number 10, I would say the new comic book toys and collectibles. The market is really getting oversaturated. So the items are getting harder and harder to sell. And the further we go along into it, the harder they're going to be to sell. Unless you're getting really awesome deals on this stuff and able to sell it for a couple dollars a piece, unless it's a really unique item or a high quality collectible, just stay away from it. If you don't know about the market and you're not comfortable with knowing what's actually worth something and what's not, I would just stay away from it completely. Number 9, I would say ceramic knickknacks. Again, if it's a weird, unusual piece, you can probably sell it. But for the most part, they're really hard to get rid of. They're really hard to sell. I do have luck with like owls. Owls seem to be in for some reason. Elephants. There's a couple of things that's okay as long as it's made well, it looks good. It's better just stay away from all that kind of stuff because it'll sit for a long time and you can't sell it for a lot of money. Number 8, I would say silverware. Silverware sets are really hard to get rid of. They set for a very long time. You can sell them eventually, but it takes a special somebody to come in and buy it. The actual silver stuff, the silver plated, I just stay away from, or the just the plated, regular shined up metal, steel, whatever it is, stainless steel. I just stay away from. But the pure silver stuff, and sometimes you can get fooled with this, the really heavy plated silverware or silver items. Keep a really strong magnet with you so you can stick to the side of it, see if it sticks. And then sometimes I've run into where they silver plated aluminum. You can still get some scrap money for aluminum. But as far as silver, you just really need to know what you're looking at, to buy it. And for me, I just take it to a scrapper and I sell it and sell them for the silver worth. It sells a lot quicker than it does as a set. And that's just me. But you could save it if you want, but that's how I do it. Number 7, I would say farm tools, antique tools in general, have gone way down. They're really hard to get rid of. Used to be able to get big money out of wheat cradles and size, things like that. It's just really hard to sell now. When the primitive era was in, that stuff done really well, but that's kind of died off now. People is more into shabby chic, cottage chic, the mid-century, things like that, even getting into the 80s. So I would say farm tools in general. Again, unless you're getting a really good deal and you can sell it really cheap, I would just stay away from it. Number 6, records have gotten very popular. And I go into a lot of booths around here, and what I'm finding is everybody's got records. Everybody's got that little crate of miscellaneous records, and you'll go through it and it's like gospel, classical, stuff like that. The stuff you see at Goodwill, or maybe you got a Savers in your area that they're selling for like 50 cents a piece. I would just stay away from those records. I don't even do that well with 45s. So I even stay away from 45s unless it's like a really good band like Queen or Quiet Riot or something, AC/DC, something like that. And then I can only get a couple bucks, $3 for a 45. But if you're going to sell LPs, be sure it's popular music. It's the heavy metal stuff is the stuff that brings the best money, the most money in punk. And then like grunge music, Nirvana, things like that. So I would stay away from gospel, country, most country, and classical. The country exceptions would be like Johnny Cash, and I don't really consider him country. They put him in that genre, but he's really rock. He's kind of like Elvis, and I liked him better than Elvis. But he's kind of rockabilly to me, but people say he's country, but whatever. Waylon Jennings does really well. Hank Williams Jr. does well for me. David Allan Coe, those old Western outlaw type country music, I sell pretty well as long as I'm around the $4 or $5 range on them. Let's see. I would say number 4, MDF Furniture. That's the press board type furniture. I just stay away from it completely. Every once in a while, is the exception. I'll get a piece that's just like mint condition. If it is like a dresser, it's in mint condition, I'll sell it for like 25, $30. I save the good prices and get the value out of actual wood type furniture. So try to just stick with solid wood furniture. People appreciate it more. And the MDF furniture, it's just junk. As soon as you move it a couple times, it gets loose and wobbly. And people really don't like it, going into a antique booth and then seeing the MDF stuff. Number 4, I'm sorry, MDF furniture was number 5. Number 4 would be dolls. I've gotten countless people coming in. Oh, you want to buy my Barbies? Oh, I got these porcelain dolls and things like that. And I'm like, no, I don't want no dolls, because dolls just sit and sit and sit. It's another thing. If you're gonna sell them for like $1 a piece, a porcelain doll or something, it'll probably sell. But the days of getting big money for that stuff is gone. And again, I know there's some out there that's worth money, but unless you know what you're talking about or you know what you're doing and you specialize in that, stay away from dolls. Number 3, I believe, would be glass. Glass is another thing that's went way downhill. And it's something, there's so much of it, you really got to know what you're doing to get something that's worth money or worth even buying. Some of the exceptions are like the jadeite glass, the Pyrex, and it's got to be certain colors for the Pyrex to get good money. Pink and the light blues and bright greens and orange, things like that. Dom France crystal, it does pretty good. I got a Dom France crystal bowl. I need to put it online. It's an $80 bowl. I got it in my booth for $15. It's been there 2 years. So I don't know why I don't get on eBay. I hate eBay, but I need to just get on there and sell it. Fenton's another one. Used to get like $80 for a Fenton piece, and now you're lucky to get $20, $25 for the same piece, $15 for the same piece. Murano glass, and the real hot thing now is Blinko, mid-century vases and decanters and stuff. But again, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get screwed big time with that stuff. There are some glass pieces out there and mason jars that are the same thing. You can get screwed if you don't know what you're talking about or what you're doing. But there's also some mason jars. The blue jars are just a dime a dozen these days. It's got to be a number 13 blue jar, and you get $25, $35 for that. The things to look for in the mason jars is like the olive color, where the sun's turned the jars a different color, and especially if it has like swirls instead of one solid color and the olive color. They're worth money. The purple jars are worth money. So just be careful with that. The blue jars, $5 a piece tops now. Clear jars ain't worth anything unless you know what you're doing. There's some you can put under a black light, and eventually if you set it outside it will turn colors and it'd be worth money, but you got to know what you're looking for. Number two, I would say China. China is so hard to get rid of. I mean, these $300 China sets, even with them asking that online, so hard to move. I wouldn't even dare to try to ship a set of China, that's worth anything. It breaks so easy, and it definitely doesn't move in your booth. Somebody might eventually. I may get like 3 people a year come in here to my store and ask me if I have China, and they're only looking for one specific kind too. So it's like you would have to have all kinds of different types of China to even have a chance to sell to these people. So that's something that's going to sit. People just don't collect it anymore. So I would stay away from China. That's just a personal preference. I know there's some worth money, but for a booth and you don't want to sell online, stay away from it. The number one thing that I would not put in my booth and have too much of is NASCAR stuff. Talk about oversaturated. And the number 10, I said the comic book toys and merchandise and stuff. It's going to end up the same way. Everybody's goo goo gaga over it right now, but it's getting oversaturated, and that's what happened with NASCAR. There was die-cast cars in the beginning you could get a few $100s for, no problem. People come in and buy it right up. And that same car now, you're lucky if you can sell it for $5. It's awful. But yeah, NASCAR is number one. Stay away from it. Any sort type, even the Dale Earnhardt stuff. I know you got some die-hard Dale Earnhardt fans, but even that stuff doesn't sell anymore unless you're giving it away. But yeah, that's my top 10 list. I've been saying I was going to do this for everybody. I hope this helps you out. This is the things I stay away from. If you stay away from this stuff, I know you can get good deals on this stuff, but it starts making your booth look cluttered. Put them unique, weird items into your booth that nobody else has. It's good quality, and I promise you, you will make not a killing, but a really good living. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll be putting out more video posts about stuff like this in the future. And we'll see you again. Thank you.